Hello, I'm Susanna with Hypnosis Haven, and today I'm going to talk about therapeutic imagery. In some of my previous videos, you might have heard me talk about hypnotherapy, therapeutic imagery, and hypnosis as if they were three separate things, and that's because they are. You can't really have one without the other. In order for it to be effective, I do believe you need all three. So I'm going to explain the difference between it and what specifically therapeutic imagery is in this video. Because while I am a therapeutic imagery master, which is what that plaque is, that's why I keep doing this. When I say therapeutic imagery, I do this because that's what that's about. There is different parts to it. With the therapeutic imagery masters that I received training in different things that was just being a facilitator. Then there was advanced, then there was the masters, and that comes after taking the imagery work that's for metaphysical imagery, for mythical and archetype, and for life passages. So I'm going to briefly explain what all of these are in this video and how each one is a bit different from the other one. When you're a facilitator, you learn the differences between all of these. And as a facilitator, we learn to work with each individual client's personal imagery. Everyone has a different interpretation of certain words. And to give an example, if I just say visualize or imagine a place that gives you a sense of security, a sense of serenity, some sort of stressless haven where you feel comfortable, calm, and secure. Everyone's going to come up with a different thing. So when we do therapeutic imagery and work like this, even something as simple as that, creating that space inside that gives you those feelings, that sensation, it's imperative to use the right words. I'm not going to say, see yourself on the beach. What if you experienced something negative on the beach? What if you can't stand sand? What if you've never been to a beach? So it would really be ridiculous for me to say these things because everyone is going to interpret these words differently. And that is why this works so well. When we're doing therapeutic imagery, and of course by the time the client is in here, I know what we're working with, I know what the challenges are, and I know what the client is going to need. In the first few sessions, we establish some things that are imperative for moving forward, whether or not we're going to have 4 sessions, 5 sessions, 10 sessions. It just depends on what the client is looking for, and we bring up these subconscious images so that we can honor what the client has in their internal set for imagery. When we establish things like the place, we set up that place where the client learns to go to it. That is a very different and important tool about hypnosis and hypnotherapy and therapeutic imagery. Is I give clients this tool of, the place we've established. When you're outside in the conscious outer waking life, like we call it, you're able to reconnect to the place. You learn to take those 3 deep breaths. You learn the associations, you learn the anchors, and you're able to go back to it so that when you're going someplace that might cause you anxiety, you can just take those deeper breaths and connect to that place that was established in such profound detail when you're in hypnosis, so that when you're out in waking life, you're able to connect to it. Another thing that we do here is we help the clients, like another journey that we do, is how would you rather feel instead? That's another example of I don't want to say a basic journey because feelings and the way you feel about things isn't really basic. It does help navigate through life. So we look at why people feel the way they feel about a certain situation, and then we change it so that way they can feel better and get what they need from it. We can use these imagery works and these things to remove blockages, to remove obstacles, to help the client find more self-direction, more resilience, and to help themselves move forward in life in case they're stuck in a set of emotions, feelings, perspectives that are limiting growth and possibilities. Another example of a journey that we do that is really good for different types of loss, PTSD, trauma, things of that nature is restoring the heart. So there's a lot we can do with therapeutic imagery because the subconscious mind has a lot of things that we can strengthen, a lot of things that we can release. So while I say that, let me just explain why we have an iceberg. Some of you might have seen the meme at some point where, there's an example of the iceberg and how what you see on the surface is just that. It's just the surface. There's so much more underneath. When we're looking at the subconscious mind and how much of the subconscious mind manages and controls our day-to-day behavior, different studies have shown it's anywhere from 88 to 90% of our brain power, of our mind, is the subconscious mind that's running what we do. That top 12%, just the surface, the conscious mind, is where we have our decision-making skills, our reasoning, our analytical skills, our willpower, and our logic. That's 12%, and everybody has those strengths to different percentages and different degrees. That 12% is being vied for by things of the environment, such as, is it hot today? Is it cold today? Is it windy? Is it noisy? Is there a lot of smog? Is somebody walking by smoking? What is that sound? Why is that constant humming in the background? Things of the environment taking from your attention. The body is constantly letting you know it's hungry, it's achy, don't sit like this, move your back. Are you slouching? All of these body things, the pains, the chronic pains, the things that are going on with the body, also always reminding, coming back, taking from that 12%. Then you have the subconscious mind, because even though it's managing the bottom part, it's also coming around back to remind you, because somebody walked by with the fragrance that reminds you of somebody that you didn't want to think about. So now you're in a different mood because you don't even know why. The subconscious mind is going to remind you of things. It's going to remind you of the beliefs that you have that are of a religious section or a political section, and it's going to change the way you interact in the world, because your subconscious beliefs are going to dictate that. Then there's the conscious mind. Still trying to take from that same 12% is the conscious mind that's reminding you of the bills you got to pay, the things you got to do right now. The life, everyday management life. So that 12% is not a whole heck of a lot when you're looking at how much operating system power there can be. So when we tap into the subconscious mind, we're able to change perspectives, beliefs, and ways of being, so that what is left and what is managing that 12% is stronger, it's better, it's more aligned to what you want in life, and it gets obstacles out of the way, it gets blockages out of the way, and it helps people move forward in life, not in hypnosis. That's the thing. It helps. Like I was explaining it to my son today. I have 2 younger girls, and they are watching him, and they are making their life decisions based on what they see, the interactions, things like that. So I explained to him, imagine these girls are writing their code for how they want to behave. Every single little detail of their life, they are making their decisions now based on what they see. If they like it, they don't like it. They make an association, they make a decision, and that becomes part of their code. That becomes part of their behavior. And that's what we do. We take things in, we take in information, and we make our decisions as children for what we want when we grow up. And very often you'll see that if you were to think back to why certain behaviors and beliefs came to be, it might have been a very strong decision made as a child. So when we move into therapeutic imagery, one of the themes that we do is mythic and archetypal. And this is great for clients that are hesitant to speak. Yes, you can speak while you're in hypnosis. That is a really nice part of hypnotherapy, is that you don't have to speak. As long as you listen and you acknowledge that you hear what I say and you are where I ask you to be, because I'm kind of like an internal tour guide. And I tell you, imagine this, imagine that, and then just give me a nod of the head when you feel you're there. Okay. Have you seen what you need to see? And you nod and we move on. And I have clients crying and they won't say a word. I can see that they are releasing. There's abreactions. There's ways that the body lets me know. I look at the subtle cues and I know where they are in the process. So when we do mythic and archetypal, clients are able to move beyond the things that make them uncomfortable in life. If they are uncomfortable in situations and not going too far because it causes too much anxiety, then they can do this type of journey within the comfort of their mind. So this is great for clients that might be hesitant and that they're seeking purpose and meaning in life. That's another thing also, if they're trying to understand their path in life, understand where they fit in, this is a good journey to take. Mythic and archetypal journeys, when you're doing it with this purpose and this intention, tends to be about 15 to 20 sessions, and it's not hour-long sessions. They are anywhere from 20 minutes to some are even 15-minute sessions to about, if we did a long one, it would be 45 minutes, an hour, if the client is speaking. If the client isn't speaking and we don't delve further, then it would run closer to 45 minutes. So these can be done in silence, and that's a really nice thing, because what can happen very often in regular therapy is clients have to speak about things that are really hard to talk about, things they don't know how to talk about, things that they don't necessarily want to acknowledge. When I go see my hypnotherapist, sometimes I don't know how to explain what I feel. All I can say is, I don't like this heavy feeling. And that's all she needs to get it out and to get it, processed and move out. And that's what we do here, is you don't necessarily have to talk about it. You just know that there's something that isn't right. And we can work with that, because it will begin to be removed, the obstacle, the blockage, whatever it is that is in the way. Those hindrances get removed as we move forward in these journeys. And this deeper work helps clients build a stronger, more resilient confidence, a sense of self, a sense of forward movement, and they connect more to their path in life and their journeys. And that's a really nice feeling, to have a connection to your own personal meaning and purpose, because we can get lost in life. And that's not something that's just for young people. It can happen at any time, because life can come at us with different responsibilities and challenges that we might not have been prepared for, and that's where the other one comes in. And this one is life passages. Life passages is one that we use for clients that are dealing with the most difficult challenges of life. And I'm talking about diagnosis, I'm talking about death, I'm talking about loss, grief, and not necessarily just the loss of life. It could be the loss of a lifestyle. Sometimes people lose their career and they don't know who they are, they don't know what to do, and it needs to be acknowledged. There's a process that goes through it, because they've always identified with their career as who they are. And when they lose their career, they don't know who they are. It's a loss, and it's something that can be worked through. So when there's something like long-term pain, short-term pain, extreme disease, death, dying, grief, wondering what's next in life, whether it's the client themselves that's going through it, or you're going through it with a loved one who received the diagnosis, who received the bad news, and you as the partner, as a companion in life, as the mother, whoever it is, the father, you want to know how to cope and manage through these things. This is where these series of therapeutic imagery journeys comes in handy. With these, we find the client can find ways to cope and find answers to those really challenging and enormous questions of life. This is the other thing about hypnotherapy, is that I'm not a counselor. I don't give advice. What we do is we remove the obstacles so that clients can connect to that internal wisdom and to get to know the things that they need to know, the things that they've always known, but they have silenced with all of the noise of life. And that's where the next one comes in, metaphysical. The metaphysical journeys works with the client's unseen forces, meaning some people align to God, some people want universal intelligence, some people want greater power, some people want goddess, some people want spirit. Whatever it is that they call it, that's what it is. It's metaphysical. It's not the tangible physical life. It's the beyond, the outside, the unseen. So when we do metaphysical journeys, we do things where we connect the client and align them to their unseen force. We align them to their source. And when you're with your source, you get to hear the answers, get the reassurance, connect to that full, very confident I am. You get to know who you are. You build really strong patterns and behaviors and beliefs of empowerment, of knowing this is who I am, this is what I want, and know that you are supported by your source. This is where you go beyond the beyond, and you recognize that you are a child of creation, and you are with your source, and you are never without your source. So this is something that clients are able to connect to use in different ways. And when I work with my clients, I find out, what terms they prefer. If you want to hear God, we connect to God. If you want to hear life source, universal spirit, all of that. I tailor it to the client, so that way it works for them. When we do therapeutic imagery, the information that is received, so many beautiful messages and things that clients get. I have made PDFs. Well, every client gets a PDF where all of the notes that I get from the hypnosis sessions, I write it down and I give it to the clients. This is not for my information. This is for the clients. So when a client receives a very beautiful message, like something like, let me think of one. Oh, a nice one that happened recently was miracles happen in the small times, in the small moments. So just that reminder, it's obvious, but just to hear that while you're in hypnosis, when you're more suggestible and you're open to receiving information that is going to help you and be for your own good, to hear that simple reaffirming phrase, it just does something much more profound, and then it continues to echo as you move forward every day, going through the challenges. What happens then is that because you have these beautiful images, they repeat in your mind. They repeat in your mind and they help you become resilient. They help you become more connected to yourself, to your sense of self, to the journey that you're on, and understand where you are in the journey and the process. So therapeutic imagery is something that helps clients in many ways with many different things. The words I say might be the same, but the way that they are interpreted is different for everybody. The way I explain it to clients also is that you're about to go on the most exciting and personal game of Pictionary with your subconscious mind that you can ever imagine, because that's exactly what it is. One of the courses when I was getting my training for my master's, and we were doing the Journey for the Wise. This is where we connect clients to a source of wisdom. And just off the top of my head, the first 4 or 5 that I remember within my colleagues was somebody got an owl, someone got the wizard Gandalf, I think his name is, from the movie. I don't really watch movies. Somebody got a mirror that walked and talked like the one in Beauty and the Beast. Somebody else got, just like a cloud that was a representative of God. And somebody else got Benjamin Franklin. So wisdom is different for everyone. Everyone's image of it is going to be different. And that is what is so cool about therapeutic imagery, is that I can speak to a group and everybody in that group is going to get a very different experience because it is your own personal experience. And that's therapeutic imagery. What we take from the therapeutic imagery, those messages that are affirmed, that are given to each client personally, that is where we do the hypnotic shift, which is my favorite part. We do the hypnotic shift and we reinforce all of that while the client is in hypnosis, and then I say what I need to say so that it becomes part of life, and this new information is taken in and it becomes part of that 88% that is going to be the driving force and the filters and the way that you interact in life, your perspectives, your beliefs. Now they're going to be improved upon because that is what we did. We removed the obstacles, we removed the old ways of being, of thinking, and of feeling, and we replaced it with better images, a comfortable and calm physical sensation, which allows for those changes to happen, and clients can now be more brave, be more self-assured, be more positive moving forward because they've expanded their realm of possibilities. They've changed what once was so strong in their firm beliefs, even if it was a sabotaging, a negative belief, it has now been changed to something that is more aligned to what they were looking for. And that's therapeutic imagery. I hope this video helped explain that. It is about an additional 40 hours of training, I think it was, that I took to get this, and I loved it so much. I asked my mentor is the lady who came up with this, Cheryl O'Neill, and I TA'd for her 2 more times, and every time I took this course, I learned something more, something different, when to apply this for that, and when clients have this challenge, which journeys are the best, and building some resilience and Oh, I'm just remembering one that I did that had to do with lions and creating that strong resilience and that inner courage to move forward in life. So this is what we do. This is what therapeutic imagery is, and it is together with hypnotherapy and the hypnosis work that I do. If you have any questions about hypnotherapy, therapeutic imagery, and hypnosis, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. You can contact me through my website, hypnosis-haven.com. You can also find me on Facebook under Hypnosis Haven. I have I have an office in New Milford, Connecticut at 30 Bridge Street here in downtown. And that comes with all the imagery that you can imagine. It has a downtown, a bridge, a nice little hill, and trees and 100-year-old buildings. It's all that I wanted when I did my imagery work for what I wanted in my life. Because that's pretty much what we do. We create what we want in our mind, and then we align to it, and we get there. So I'd be more than happy to show you how to do it. Visit my website and schedule a consultation. And I look forward to more emails, questions, and making videos for you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing more of you guys again. Bye.